Good afternoon, children, or good morning, depending on what time you're looking at the video. It's story time now, isn't it? And we're going to read a really nice story, and it's called The Snail and the Whale. So now you can lay down if you want to, or you can have a nice seat and get comfy. There's the picture of the book, The Whale and the Snail. Oh, the snail and the whale, same thing. Right, here we go. There's the first picture. Look at that big boat. Isn't it exciting? Right, I'll perhaps find your glasses. This is a tale of a tiny little snail. Do you know how small snails are? And a great, big, blue humpback whale. They are huge whales. I don't know if any of you ever seen them, but they really are very, very big. This is a rock as black as soot. What's soot? It's from smoke. Remember charcoal? Black as charcoal, black as soot, because it goes in the chimney pipe. And this snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And as she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. The sea is deep and the world is wide. Oh, how I long to sail, said the tiny little snail. Remember I showed you the picture? There's a tiny little snail. There's the big ship in dock. This is a dock where the ships come to land to unload their cargo. There we are there. Look at that, the whole picture, and you can see. There's the big rock. Can you see? And there's the tiny snail on the big rock. Can you see him? There. Right, and he's looking out to sea, and it's all very exciting. These are the other snails in the flock, who were all stuck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wiggle, stay still, stay put." And the tiny snail sighed and sniffed, then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a lift." This is the trail of the tiny snail, the slithery trail that looped and curled and said. Look, there, they're all on there, and they're all shouting at the tiny little snail. And there he is slithering. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, can you see that? And with his slithering, he's written on the rock. What has he written on the rock? Lift wanted around the world. This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright. The humpback whale, immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song. Who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves, and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlight sea and said to the snail, "Come, sail with me." There we are. There's the picture of the big whale. And here he is of his, there he is of his tail, and there's the little snail climbing on. And you see the whale has got his tail in the air, so the snail can go sailing with the whale. What a lot of Essie snail whale songs. This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands. Look at that, there they go. And is the snail still on the tail of the whale? Can you see it? There you go. How exciting. With the fiery mountains and golden sands. Look, they're traveling the world. Look, there's a volcano, and there's the sand, and there's the whale with the snail on his tail, and a monkey in the tree. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed. The tiny snail on the tail of the whale. There we go, look at the big wave. And can you still see the tiny snail on the whale and the big wave? These are the caves beneath the waves, where stripy fish and feathery fins and sharks and hideous toothy grins swam around the whale and the snail on the tail. There they are, look. There's an octopus and a shark, and there's the whale, the snail on the whale's tail. How exciting. This is the sky, so vast and high, sometimes sunny, blue and warm, sometimes filled with thunderstorms, with zigzag lightning, flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. Look, 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 there you go. And the lightning and the thunder and the lovely blue skies and sunshine and the snail on the tail of the whale. As she gazed at the sky, the sea and the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand, she gazed and gazed, amazed by it all. And she said to the whale, I feel so small. Look at those pictures there. Oh, look at the eagle and the snail still on the whale's tail. Isn't it beautiful? And there's a bear. And then came the day the whale lost his way. Oh, there are speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with the ear-splitting roar. Make him swim too close to the shore. Oh, look at the speedboats. Oh, he's got himself lost and he's caught in a race. Oh dear. This is the tide slipping away. And look, the snail stuck on the beach. The whale stuck on the beach, not the snail. The snail is still on the tail. And this is the whale laying beached in a bay. Quick, off the sand, back to sea, cried the snail. I can't move, I'm on land. I'm too big, moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then I've got it, she cried. She started to crawl. I must not fail, said the tiny snail. There's the snail. Oh, look at the big whale stuck on the beach. Oh, and he can't move because there's no water around him and he's got no legs. This is the bell on the school day in the bay. Ringing the bell, the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, sit straight, don't talk. This is the board as black as soot. And this is the snail with the itchy foot. A snail. Let's have a look at the children. There's the children going back to school. There's the teacher. And there's the snail. What's he doing? He's writing on the blackboard. And this is the snail with the itchy foot. A snail. The teacher turns pale. Look, say the children, it's leaving a trail. This is the trail of the tiny snail. The silvery trail saying, save the whale. Isn't he a clever snail? He ran to the school and he wrote on the blackboard, save the whale. Do you think the children understand? I do not know. Let's look. These are the children running from school, fetching the fireman, digging a pool. Look. Isn't it exciting? Squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. They're all trying to dig a pool around the whale so he can swim back in the sea. What a clever Mr. Snail. This is the tide coming into bay, and these are the villagers shouting, hooray, hooray, as the whale and the snail travel safely away. There we go. There's the water, the tide coming in, and there's the snail, this whale, back in the sea, and Mr. Snail still on his tail. We saved the whale. How exciting. Back to the dock, and the flock on the rock of snails, who said, how's time has flown, and haven't you grown? And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves, of shooting stars and enormous waves, of how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled the snail after snail after snail. Look, there they are coming back, and there's all the snail on the flock. And now they're all climbed onto the humpback whale. They all want to go for a ride. Isn't that so exciting, children? And they sang to the sea as they set sail on the tail of the great big humpback whale. There they go. That's the end of our story, children. Look at all the snails on the tail of the humpback whale going for a sail into sea. And that's the end of our story. Did you enjoy that? It was so exciting, wasn't it? Well done, children. Thank you. Thank you for listening, and I'll chat to you tomorrow. Bye.